How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and today we have a very exciting video for you today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some of this premium content that's provided for you on the Cryptocurrency YouTuber YouTube channel. And of course, the subject of today's video, we're going to be talking about a lot of the different controversy that's been happening in the cryptocurrency space. I mean, Bitcoin currently coming in at $10,649. And, there are some pretty interesting articles on here. It's very interesting. I mean, in particular, Bloomberg, Bitcoin could hit $500,000 or drop to zero. If I've ever seen clickbait, that's clickbait because it's just a mathematical. Just anybody who understands Bitcoin, there's literally absolutely no way Bitcoin could ever be $0. Whenever you see somebody saying that Bitcoin would be valued at zero, that person's full of shit, because the fact of the matter is, mathematically, Bitcoin could never be worth $0. I'm sorry to say so. Automatically when I see that sort of thing coming up, it provokes me to sort of want to sort of dispute it and really, so we might as well start off with that one. Although this video really is going to ultimately segue into the conversation about DigiByte. Ultimately, what I want to do is talk about blockchain technology and, of course, moving forward, and of course, how we're going to be seeing different businesses and so forth adopting to this new technology, whether it be in any various different form, is yet to be seen. And I'm not Nostradamus here, but anyway, this quote here, obviously, it is a bit of clickbait to the title, but there is some interesting information included. So in September's Crypto Outlook newsletter, Bloomberg's article analysis, Mike observed that the price of Bitcoin could either be heading towards the $500,000 mark or it could fail. See, it could fail. They're not even in the meat and bones of the article. They're not talking. They don't even want to even reference the zero, because they know just as well as we do. Bitcoin could go down in whatever, but it's not going to be zero ever. This guy has contributed to, of course, the view, blah, 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 becoming digital gold. But this quote right here is very interesting. Much of the board crypto asset market echoes 2017's excesses, but the foundation is firming due to expanding decentralized exchanges, DEXs, and finance, and limited supply versus increasing demand. And the bottom line for Bitcoin with of course, it all sort of boils down to, the estimates that the analysis refer to are likely based on assumptions that Bitcoin's market capitalization will eventually reach partially with, gold, the $9 trillion mark. And of course, this sort of brings us to that number close enough, I suppose, for clickbait to have that 428 K sort of mark, which is an interesting sentiment. We've got this one, of course, on CoinDeck. Bitcoin risks deeper price pullback as exchange inflows spike. Sure. Whether or not you're a hodler or if you're a day trader, I mean, in big quotes, day trader, it's still at the same time, it is interesting, not good for Bitcoin. US dollar rebounding from multi-year support, which is interesting to see. The USD, come on, this article I have a bit of a contention with as well. The quote right here, though, has some value to it. Overall, the comments suggesting that an imminent policy response to the ECB to help weaken the euro appears unlikely, and they will rely more on job owning, to demand euro strength for now. It'll be interesting. I mean, it really honestly depends on your time frame, because whether or not you're in, that sort of is the ultimate sentiment when it comes down to bullish versus bearish. It's a question of faith in knowledge, honestly. If you're a person who's been able to accumulate a certain amount of or at least understand what's going on to a certain degree, I think that the writing's on the wall when it comes to open source blockchain. And I mean, if you're looking no further, I mean, when we talk about these different numbers and so forth, I really don't think that it ultimately comes down to reputation, because I mean, these things have, all these different technologies have been around long enough, but I think that people are spoiled. Personally, I would imagine that in this space we see a growing insurmountable sort of leverage, which is in favor of the digital economy. And whether or not that actually includes, blockchain and digital currencies as currently we see them, is all more up to legislation, because I would say if left alone, there's really no question, in the current time being. Now, of course, when it comes to money and all these different movers and shapers of the world that we live in today, we need to understand all these different variables and how a lot of them are going to be every single day things are different, and you'll hear a different opinion from everybody, including myself. So I mean, Tron's price action since the start of September has looked very promising, while the cryptocurrency was limited to a lot of sideways momentum. In the later stages of August, it managed to strong breakout in the charts over the past few days. Definitely interesting. And I mean, of course, when we really look at it, I mean, I'm still gung-ho for the DigiByte community. I mean, I'm just happy to be a part of the DigiByte community, and I thank everybody out there who's a supporter of this channel, who's an advocate of DigiByte and believes in the project and believes, and I think one of the best comments that I read so far has been somebody saying that DigiByte is what Litecoin wishes that it could be, and I couldn't agree more. And I think that as we move forward and we actually see the different decisions that are being made by the various different companies who are really only looking at the bottom line, I think that that's ultimately going to be the determining factor when it comes to what happens as far as the better Bitcoin sort of alternative and all these different things. In areas where Bitcoin might fail, we'll see a lot of these different aspects of DigiByte and so forth, and a lot of these different credentials that they've solidified for themselves, including but not limited to their ability to actually exist, which I think is something that's often referenced, but it's actually not nearly taken as seriously as I would imagine that it should. And I think that as we move forward, especially, as a community at large and all these different things, these culminating variables sort of manifest and we see all these different things occurring, I mean, I wouldn't imagine that a $1 DigiByte is anywhere near, I think that it's pretty, I mean, I wouldn't imagine that it's logical at all. I think that $2 DigiByte, all these different things make perfect sense. So we look at this and we move forward, and we see these different sentiments. I mean, Foz, I used to use Foz as a cryptocurrency aggregator, but I no longer do, just because it seems so it's just basically, it's like a natural erosion of any sort of outlet. You use YouTube, you use any of these different things, Facebook, whatever, and you end up at a certain point where you're in an echo chamber. You're like, this is just the same stuff that I looked at, and the algorithm is now suggesting the same stuff that I've always been looking at. And I'm afraid that that's sort of the cycle that a lot of people find themselves in, which is a shame, because the internet has such a wide plethora of information that's available for people. However, the point stands. But of course, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your dad. I'm only making this video so that I could share my personal opinions. And yeah, I'm still bullish. as far as things go. I'm still excited about the future of this space. I know I haven't been able to make a video for a while. Things have been pretty crazy. A lot of serious things have arisen, a new child on the way and all these different things. But yeah, thanks for all the support, all my friends and everything, everybody who supports the channel, and all these different people have been, by my side. And I thank you all for that. Thanks for all the loyal subscribers and everybody who has post notifications turned on, who comment on every single video and all these different things. That's all great, well and good. And I'm glad to see that everybody's still active. And, I'm going to continue to work hard to push to create that same type of content. But yeah, all that being said, I'm glad you guys have watched all the way to the end. And all that being said, I'll continue to bring you guys great content, the same content that I've been pushing out for years now, cryptocurrency related content included. And I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next one. Have a good one.